Let's speak about the Inflation Reduction Act, aka the IRA, and what it actually means for us as investors, especially us, renewable energy related investors, us electric vehicle players, charge point players, plug players, and the likes. So this is something that I have been speaking about in literally every single video I have been making as of late. So what I want to do is I want to sit down and do a standalone video on it just for you guys. Maybe, you're only getting bits and pieces of information in regards to why it's actually really valuable, potentially the biggest thing we've gotten in a long time in the world of EV, and what you need to be aware of. So I'll try to keep it quick and cut out lots of the boring stuff so that you guys just get all of the valuable information. Really quickly, guys, could I ask you to hit that juicy like button? Let's see if we can break 100 likes. We have been able to do it ever since I've came back. I really appreciate it. Videos like this usually don't do as well, so please, my friend, hit that like button. Put a smile on your boy's face. So first, off the bat, what is the IRA? So the IRA includes $369 billion focused on the energy transition and carbon reduction in the form of new and expanded production and investment tax credits for electrification, carbon capture, renewable energies including wind, solar, geothermal, nuclear, and hydrogen. Okay, so what does that really come down to? Just going to be tax incentives. Everybody is going to be aware of the $7,500 tax incentive that there was on Tesla models for the longest time until they met that sales cap, and that $7,500 was no longer available. So you had to fork out that extra money yourself. That is one of the things in this act that will be removed as long as certain parameters are met. But what that means is EVs are going to become more affordable to the everyday consumer with immediate effect. I just want to shout out Crane Shares here as well. These guys who published this article on Seek and Alpha does a great job. There's one or two other things we have to go through from another article here, but shout out to these guys, okay? We're just going to go through some of the key takeaways for electrification. So, the IRA will extend the expiring EV tax credit of $7,500 to 2032 and eliminate the previous restriction limiting tax credits to EVs produced by automakers who sold less than 200,000 EVs. So what does that mean? Well, as I said, it means that Tesla can avail of these tax credits again. Some of the GMC things here, some of the Chevrolet ones here, the Bolt EV, Cadillac Lyriq, and more as the years go on, and as some people would have eventually hit that 200,000 sales cap and no longer been able to make their money, their extra tax credit from here. These credits are available to consumers who earn equal to or less than $150,000 individually, so let's be honest, the large majority of consumers, or $300,000 as a family. While Tesla and GM are the biggest beneficiaries as of right now of the elimination, other automakers such as Ford will continue to benefit. Also, quite an important one, the IRA includes fuel cell vehicles in the tax credit for the first time, benefiting Plug Power, a US leader in fuel cell and hydrogen production. Shout out Kyle. The IRA have also created a new tax credit, which to me is a really, really exciting one, of $4,000 for used electric vehicles that cost less than $25,000. This is going to help boom the used EV market. Now, as of right now, that's still going to be a very small market, but as the years go on, and as there is more... The ice cream man, like, what are you doing, ice cream man? But as I was saying, as the years go on and as, electric vehicles get cheaper and they do lose a lot more value when they get resold, this tax credit is going to help a lot of people out. The people who can afford a sub $25,000 car, not a $75,000 car. So this provision should help accelerate used EV sales among middle and lower income consumers who make equal to or less than $75,000 individually or $150,000 as a family. So again, a lot more of the population. Now here is a big one, okay, and this is one that's probably going to shake up markets quite a bit over the coming years, and one that we could see change a lot of business plans. So for EVs to qualify for the consumer tax credit, the IRA requires automakers to use a certain percentage of raw materials mined and processed in North America or countries in the FTA with the US. That includes Canada, Australia, and Chile. So what actually are those numbers? Beginning in 2023, to be eligible for the full credit, 40% of the vehicle's critical minerals must be mined or processed in the US or countries with which we have a free trade agreement or recycled in North America. And likewise, 50% of battery components, this is a huge one, must be manufactured or assembled in North America, with both of those percentages increasing over the next few years. With the amount of battery materials, battery components that come out of China, This could be a huge one. And it's not clear to see how this is going to play out for US investments or even Chinese investments just yet. But it's definitely not a bad thing in my personal opinion. So they are the numbers. I also would like to point out, it says to be eligible for the full credit, these numbers must be hit. So I'm wondering if there could be partial credits issued. I can't find anything on that myself everywhere I've looked, but the wording would lead you to believe that there may be a partial credit when these numbers aren't hit, but part of them are. The IRA revives the recently expired alternative fuel tax credit for 30% for EV charging. Let's go ChargePoint and alternative fuels, and increases the maximum use of the credit from $30,000 to $100,000. The provision is a boon for EV infrastructure companies such as EVgo, ChargePoint, and Plug Power, and others. Tesla should definitely be included in there as well, but yeah, these are the main ones. The IRA also includes a significant tax credit for commercial EVs, so heavy duty, baby, especially heavy duty trucks weighing more than 14,000 pounds. The tax credit includes the lesser of 30% of the difference between the clean energy vehicle and a comparable ICE and $40,000. So it can be up to $40,000 here. On the battery manufacturing side, the IRA provides significant tax breaks to encourage the localization of the battery supply chain. Now again, this is one that I haven't gone into too deeply on the channel just yet, but this one is going to be huge, especially for companies who are taking things in-house. The provisions include a 10% cost credit, which translates into an almost 7% discount on battery cells, 10 kilowatt hour for battery models, constituting a 30% discount on battery packs and a $35 per kilowatt hour production credit for battery cells, which accounts for an average of a 35% discount to global battery cell prices. I would be extraordinarily surprised if we don't see a lot more of these companies that do import quite a bit, making things more localized. The incentives are there. These aren't just small incentives for the sake of having small incentives. These are real incentives. And then finally, the IRA includes a slew of provisions to help institutions and companies transition to electrification. It includes $3 billion for the USPS. I feel a stab in my heart whenever I hear this. To transition to clean energy trucks. Oh yeah, why didn't you just do that a year ago? Anyway, I won't get off track. $2 billion for automakers to retool and convert existing production lines to the production of clean energy vehicles, and $20 billion in loans for automotive companies to help them build clean energy facilities across the country. Absolutely huge, my friends. So much is going on for the world of EV. Now you can more than likely see why I have been so excited about this act in particular. Especially Tesla investors should be getting really excited right now. I'd imagine Rivian, as they continue to ramp, is going to be very exciting for them. And, you know, pretty much any EV company is what you're going to be looking for here. And, you know, tax credits aside, the $7,500 tax credit aside, you look at the things that this means for ChargePoint, in my opinion. And then, you know, for people who are invested in EVgo and Plug Power, it's fantastic for all of them. So that is the basics of the Inflation Reduction Act. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. Of course, things could change, you know, especially with a lot of the numbers not really coming into play until 2023. As well, some of those percentages are set to increase as the years go on as well. So that's, again, it's going to be more of an incentive for more things to happen in the US. But yeah, I think it's going to be very exciting, and I think it is a fantastic thing for the world of EV. But anyway, my friends, if you watched this video all the way till the end, you are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you being here from the bottom of my heart. Your support really does mean the world to me. Again, if you haven't yet, please do consider hitting that like button. Only if you got some value from this video, I really would appreciate it. We're going to try to keep that 100 like streak alive. As always, please do also subscribe if you're new around here, and drop me a comment. Let me know if there's anything important you think I missed, or maybe there's something that just didn't click in my head just yet. Anyway, guys, I'm going to see you for another video very soon. Peace.